Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I'll be teaching you how to fly a drone. Don't worry if you've never touched a drone before, it's actually very easy and I'm sure you'll learn very quickly. Let's begin with some rules. Rule number 1 is to not fly within 30 meters of people. Now this is horizontally, which means just being 30 meters high doesn't count as being 30 meters away from people. Just imagine a circle with a radius of 30 meters around your drone and just don't allow people to be within this 30-meter radius. The second rule is don't fly at night. Now you can fly at night if you obtain a remotely piloted aircraft operator's certificate, but I'm going to assume that none of you actually have that. Night is defined to be more than 30 meters before sunrise or 30 meters after sunset. Now rule number 3 is to keep the drone within your line of sight. You have to be able to see the drone at all times without any visual aid like binoculars. If you do lose visual line of sight with the drone, don't worry, just fly back towards yourself until you can see it again and then you can continue flying. The second to last rule is to not fly into airspace. This is because if a plane does hit your drone, it may damage the plane and will completely destroy the drone. Now most times if it does hit a plane, it won't be catastrophic. But if it does get into the plane's engine, it may cause the engine to fail, and we all know that's not good. To stay out of airspace, you can't fly within 3 kilometers of an airport or over 120 meters above ground level. Now the final rule is to not take off in no-fly zones. Obviously, there's a reason you're not allowed to fly in them. Maybe it's to protect wildlife, maybe for people's privacy, or you don't really know, but there's always a reason, so follow this rule and don't fly within no-fly zones. Now that you know the rules, I'm going to give you some quick tips that I've learned from experience. Tip number 1 is that it's always a good idea to fully charge your drone, controller and smartphone before flying. There's nothing worse than having to cut your flight short because of low battery. You should also avoid flying very fast unless you can see that the drone isn't going to crash into anything. This is because when the drones are at their top speed, it can take sometimes up to 50 meters for them to come to a complete stop. But by far, the most important tip I have is that when you become disoriented and just have no idea where your drone is, let go of both controls. The drone always wants to stay completely level and still, so if you let go, there's no chance of it flying into something. Once the drone has stopped and you've let go of the controls, assess the situation and reorient yourself, which you can do by looking at the map on the controller to find out where the drone is, looking at the height and distance measurements to find out how high it is, and by looking at the camera feed of the drone. Once you have figured out where the drone is, you can continue flying safely. Now, let's finally get to teaching you how to fly the drone. When you look at the controller, there are 2 main sticks. These 2 sticks are the main controls and are on every single drone controller. First, I'm going to teach you how to use the left stick. If you push this stick up, it will make the drone go up. Pushing this stick down will make the drone go down. That's pretty simple. Pushing this stick to the left, the drone will rotate left. And pushing this stick to the right will make the drone rotate to the right. Now the right stick is where some people get confused. The right stick does all of your roll controls. So pushing this stick forwards will make the drone roll forwards. Pushing this stick backwards will make the drone roll backwards. Pushing this stick to the left will make the drone roll left. And finally, pushing it to the right will make the drone roll to the right. Everyone will learn differently. First, I suggest by taking off with this button and using the left stick to practice going up and down. I'm just going to bring it up there. It's quite windy today. Try to look at the drone instead of the controller. This will allow you to see exactly what the drone is doing with every single control you put in. Now that you've mastered going up and down, try and use the right stick to go forward and backwards. Don't push the sticks all the way in any direction because the drone responds quickly and may fly into objects. Once you're comfortable with these controls, try adding in some of the other controls. I've taught people how to fly drones like this quite a few times, and I've seen some people master the basic controls in 5 minutes or even less. But don't feel bad about yourself if you don't get the hang of them quickly. It can take some time to get used to all the controls. Now you should be able to fly the drone like a pro. Just make sure to remember the rules and you'll have lots of fun. If this video helped you, please consider subscribing, as I'll be posting more films and tutorials on this channel. Have a fantastic rest of your day. and I'll see you next time. Bye.